Chinesium alert, Chinesium alert. This just came in the mail, and it's got that fragrance of Chinesium. Let me use my Chinesium detector and see if it actually does have a little of the stuff. Let's see. Got to remember how to turn this thing on. There we go. And then we use this guy. And then we check it with this guy, and if it starts blinking faster, that means it's Chinesium. Yep. Okay. All right, it is.
Chinesium. What even is it? China is a really big country over in another continent where they speak funny. A long time ago, China was very prosperity, trading with many other countries. Silk and spices and little gold cats with paws that moved up and down were their main exports. Then lots of bad things happened, wars, invasions by Japanese and others. Then stupid communism. Communism sucks ass. Anyway, after killing almost everyone, communism got smarter and started trading and being all capitalism-ish. That's when China invented Chinesium, a mixture of the cheapest metals, forged in a wok and tempered with yum-yum sauce. Chinesium is the major ingredient in all Chinese manufactured goods. Once Chinesium was introduced to the West, the prosperity started rolling in like a tsunami. For China, knockoff Spitterco and Medford knives were the primary drivers of this prosperity, and we can't wait to see what knives China copies next. Thanks, Chinesium. We love you.
Thanks, Richard. Very cool. I'm glad I got that Chinesium detector. So, what better to open some Chinesium up with than some Twosun Chinese beautiful thing like this guy. This is the TS571. Now, let's open this guy up and hope it's another TS, another Twosun. I think it is, probably. Yes, another Twosun. Man, I need more Twosuns. I don't have enough. This thing, it's got some gravity to it. Say goodbye to the Twosun. Man, I love this one too, man. The TS571 is so nice. I modded the blade on this one. It used to be a kind of a, came straight out, and then it went down like this, kind of straight out and down, like, I don't know, like a weird drop point. But now it's like this long drop point. Looks cool. I think it's better. Let's get this guy open, and hopefully it has its Twosun number on it, because I don't know which one it is. Oof, that's a big boy. Holy shit, that fills the whole box. Man, this is a chunk. And it also has that greasy look. It has that, what's it called? Cosmoline. What even is this stinky but somehow magically protective greasy gunk? Dateline, Wart Hill, Nebraska. Geologists were busy searching for black gold when they discovered this disgusting mess. Originally assumed to be pure dinosaur excrement, these oil hunters did the only thing that made sense. Just put this disgusting gunk in the nearby river. Then there was a breakthrough. Elmer J. Flarthington III discovered a new use for this stinky Jurassic dino dung juice. Turns out you can just smear it on things and they work better, like this pulley machine contraption. Or Billy's bicycle. It's been squealing like a Democrat lately. Slather some Cosmoline up in that bitch, Billy. That's better. Even Sally's sewing machine could use a little Cosmoline. Ah, that's better. Now back to work. But the biggest beneficiary of Cosmoline seems to be mid-range pocket knives from China. These budget wonder knives benefit immensely from a good dipping into Cosmoline. It protects them from corrosion on their long boat ride across the Atlanto-Pacific Ocean to arrive in the US of A and be enjoyed by people of all ethnicities according to whichever knives they're known to use. And that's why we love Cosmoline. Whoa, the tip of that blade. First thing I noticed, tip of that blade is right near the edge. Yeah, I can touch it, but I have to work pretty hard. So I'm going to say it's pretty safe, just because of that little bit there. Now, what do we have here? Is that carbon fiber? That is neat looking stuff, whatever it is. Very greasy. Let's get a paper towel on this guy and get it cleaned off. And we will see what there is to see with this chunker. I think we're going to get the scale out here pretty soon too, because it is a chunk. Ooh, recurve blade. Look at that son of a bitch. That is pretty. That is a pretty, pretty blade. So this is the TS571 in K110. Well, I like what they're doing with their pivot collar these days. It's kind of neat that it's down level with everything else, not sticking up high. I don't love that they have to put Twosun around their made in China shit, but they could at least keep it down low like this one is. Some of them stick up way too high. They look kind of dumb. I'm trying to see if I have one sitting around that has that raised deal. Let's use this liner. Ooh, boy, that might just hurt you. When this thing drops, you want your thumb up close, right up in here. Let's get the box out of the way. Because if your thumb is back here, I feel like it's going to come down. And the blade, boy, I think it just needs a little bit more choil is what it really needs. Boy, this thing kind of reminds me a little bit of like a freaking cold steel or something. It's such a big beast. Big chunky boy, man. Although it's not super heavy for how big it is. It is a big, thick, beefy boy, but it doesn't feel overly heavy. Oh, it almost feels like it should have a flipper tab back there. Oof, that's nice. Nice. Pocket clip looks excellent. Pretty sure that's a carbon fiber. Doesn't look like G10. It's interesting looking stuff. Look at the kind of iridescence of it. Very cool inlay. And it's also milled down on the inside, even though there's an inlay set down into it. The balance is terrific. The weight on this guy, it's going to be less than you'd think it is for being such a big brute. Look, I mean, look at the size of that fucking thing. What's the blade length on it anyway? Let's find out. Looks like a 4-inch blade all day. Let's find out. It is a little over 4 inches. 4 1/8, almost. Yeah. 4 1/8 inches long. Okay, this is a big boy. What's the total? I'm going to say it's almost 9 inches long total. Maybe right around 9. 9 and 9 3/16, something like that. So this is a big boy. Tiny bit of lock stick that time there, but it's tiny, really is. It sounds louder than it really feels. Boy, that is a big fucking chunker. Love it. Feels really good in the hand too. All right, what's the weight on this 9-inch plus fat boy? Let's compare these two. 6.4 ounces, 5.3 ounces. This feels way smaller and lighter. So at 6.4, this guy is not that heavy for how big it is and how big it feels in hand. It feels like a big ass cold steel frickin' Spartan in your hand. All right, this is a big fucking chunker, and I like it. Man, it's got a really nice sound to it. Great ergos. I mean, you can feel the edges a little bit on it, but I mean, they just kind of help you hold on to it more than anything. Like, they don't hurt you, they don't bother you. You just feel the edges, and you can tell that it's not slipping out of your hand. Really nicely done. It has that internal lock bar that's bolted into the frame. So that's probably steel right there, a little stainless steel. Lockup is looking good at about 20%, something like that. Let's try a little spine whack on it. Looking good. Didn't even make it lock stick anymore. Boy, when you open it hard, the lock stick gets a little more aggressive. I'm going to guess it's going to wear in, but who knows? If you don't open it hard, if you open it kind of easy, there's no lock stick. That's interesting. But if you slam it open, you get a little bit of lock stick. So I'm going to guess we are going to get out of that lock stick eventually, and it won't continue forever. It could use a little more choil right here. Then you would have less danger of your thumb getting cut when that thing comes down. Here's where the danger is. If you open it right, so I feel like I want to open it here. And that's perfectly fine. It's going to stop there. Okay. If I go a little further back, it's getting close to where it's going to cut me. A hair more back, and it's going to start cutting into that skin right there that gets cut sometimes. Wow, really nice knife. Excellent job. Who's the designer? We got a Wong design, and it's K110, like I said. Got titanium on the frame. Big giant lanyard loop on the end of the back spacer. Wow, really cool knife, man. I like that kind of almost like a Bowie angle going here with that nice wedge on top. The whole blade is all the same kind of a stone washed look, but it's also almost like a what would you say? Almost like a satin stone washed look. Micro milling on the handle. Looks very nice. And then the kind of macro milling along here. That's some deep serrations there. Very grippy. Super grippy. And I'm pretty sure it's some kind of carbon fiber. 99% sure. Very cool, man. Very cool aesthetic. Really nice knife. I like it a lot. No problems that I can see with it at all. Everything is looking good. The lockup is good. Yeah, drop shuttiness is excellent. Thumb studs are good. Pocket clip, let's try it. Okay, the pocket clip is a little strong, especially given that it's sitting on top of this. Boy, look at that, ripped up pants on it already. So that's kind of a downside. It's sitting on this rough scale material here, and it is going to tear up your pants, period. Now, what you could do is bend it up a little tiny bit, like this, to give it a little bit less force. Now, I've just given it a little bit less force. Now, let's see if it goes in and out of the pocket easier. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better. So what I did was I just pried it up a little bit and bent it. It's still ripping up jeans a little bit, though. So it's going to rip your jeans up, like more than most. This is going to rip up jeans. Now, the alternative thing you could do is find the spot right where this thing hits underneath there. Take a little bit of sandpaper, rub it back and forth just right where this thing hits. So you can't really see it. It'll just be right underneath there. And that will make it a little nicer, a little smoother, right where your pocket goes up under it. So they could have made the, one more tiny complaint, they could have made the thumb studs a little less slippery. They're a tiny bit slippery. But they're so big and they're in the right place to where it's okay. Reverse flick is there all day, but it's not easy. My preferred method of unlocking it after the reverse flick. So when I thumb flick, I usually use the same thumb to unlock. When I reverse flick, damn, not reverse flicking right now. Okay, the detent is pretty strong, but it's such a big heavy blade it needs to be strong or else it's going to flip out too easy. So I think it's probably going to wear in, then it'll be a little easier to reverse flick. Okay, there's my reverse flick. Then I usually come around with this finger and unlock it like this. Okay, it unlocked that time. Now, is that going to be dangerous unlocking it that way? Yeah. So when I unlock it that way, the blade goes right up against my hand like that. So that's a stupid way to do it. So I'm saying don't do it that way. Leave that to me. You don't do it that way. I'm liking the TS571 so far. Pretty freaking cool knife, man. Look at this thing. I think the clip side is the pretty side of this guy. Look at this thing. Beautiful knife, man. Really, really nice. A smoother inlay wouldn't hurt. So think of that, Twosun. Maybe a nice fat carbon smooth inlay without the washboard going on. Anyway, I recommend it, other than those couple of little minor issues I talked about. TS571. Have a nice day.